Every year I choose one word that serves as a theme for the upcoming year. And I'm not the only one. Just search hashtag one word 2020. You'll see all the people that have joined this movement. Now, for me, this word, it's not a replacement to my goals. Rather, it serves as a complement to them. It kind of sums them up, if you will, and it helps me be intentional in accomplishing those goals. Now, in case you missed it over the last few sessions, I shared about my word for 2019 and I graded myself on how I did. So in case you missed that, we've included links in our session outline. For 2020, my word, it's engage. Now, here's the meaning of engage. It means to establish a meaningful contact or connection with. Now, immediately we think about a couple getting engaged, right? But engagement is not necessarily about romantic feelings. I think for all of us, we want to have meaningful connection with our friends and our family. I think workplaces, right? Employers, they want to create a culture of engagement, right? They want their fellow employees to have meaningful contact with one another, right? They get along, they work well together, and they want those employees to be engaged on the projects that they're working on, meaning that they're motivated and they give their best to those projects. So for me, when it comes to engagement this year, there are two main areas I'm going to focus on. The first one is relationships. You see, I want to create engagement with the key relationships in my life. My relationship with my wife, Jen, with our friends and family, even with the clients that I work with. Now, there are two aspects that I'm going to really focus on when it comes to creating these effective relationships. The first one is listening. One of my favorite quotes is that being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they're almost indistinguishable. You see, too many times I make conversations about me. Maybe you do as well. I want to kind of flip that around. I want most of my conversations to be about the other person. Through listening, I want them to feel heard, understood, and known. And as a result, they know that I care about them and they feel encouraged when we interact and we talk together. You see, there are too many times that when I talk with somebody, I've got an agenda, right? Or I've got this schedule or timetable of how long this conversation should take. And look, at times it's not bad. It's good to have boundaries around meetings and so forth. But there are times when we need to be patient and we need to let people verbally process. Let them share their dreams and their visions. Let them share their concerns and their fears and give them the time to be able to do that. Now, secondly, when it comes to creating engaged relationships, I want to share. You see, a relationship, it's about two-way communication. It's not just about listening. At some point, you need to be willing to share. But here's where I struggle with it. I'm an introvert and I'm an internal processor. So here's what it means. It means that one, I'm okay with not talking a whole lot, and I stuff my emotions and my feelings, and I don't let them out. So with those key relationships, as I mentioned earlier, I do want to listen, but then I want to be willing to be vulnerable and share about my visions and dreams, share about my concerns and fears as well. Now, the second area of creating engagement, this is a professional theme, and that's about creating organizational engagement. You see, the stats are clear. When employees are engaged at work, they're 31% more productive and they're 87% less likely to quit. But here's the problem. 70% of employees in the United States say they're not engaged, meaning they don't bring their best when they come to work on a regular basis. My passion and the passion of the Shawn Welch Company is to help equip organizations and teams to maximize their potential through creating engaged employees. And I'm so excited over this upcoming year to share some of the new products and services that we're going to be offering that will help you create that culture of engagement. Now, if that's something that interests you, I'd love to chat with you more about that. Feel free to message me. Okay, so here's today's game plan. What's your word for 2020? What's going to be your theme for this year? And then after you come up with that theme, I want you to think about how you can implement it. What are some things you're going to do to help you actually live out and accomplish that theme? Let me leave you with our tweetable lesson. People all have stories. They just don't have many listeners.